Hello and welcome to this bite-sized trend overview. This is one of 9 trends we covered in our recent report on the future of retail. Remember that as a premium client you have access to a full report, so do dive in and zero in on the 1 or 2 trends that are most relevant for your business. But back to aCommerce. This is one of the biggest and most disruptive trends in the whole report because it totally changes the how and the who of retail. Because, as you might have already guessed, the A in aCommerce stands for automated. Yes, in 2019, shoppers will outsource even more retail experiences to algorithms and smart devices. That means the automation of hunting, negotiating, purchasing, delivery arrangements, and much more. But first, let's take a look at where this trend has come from. Understanding trends is about understanding customer expectations. And this stat from McKinsey shows how customers increasingly used to outsourcing their purchasing. The subscription e-commerce market, think razors, underwear, etc., has grown over 100% a year for the past 5 years in the US. Just set it and forget it. That's an increasingly common new consumer behavior. And what else is happening? Of course, we had to mention AI. You probably saw the Google Duplex demo recently, right? Well, your customers saw it too. Yep. Google will soon be booking haircuts for users around the globe. No wonder expectations of AI-fueled outsourcing, find me the right product, negotiate the best deal, book my next appointment, are escalating fast. And yes, as we referred to as a number of times in this report, consumers are conflicted. On the one hand, there's widespread fear of automation. Indeed, some estimate that up to half of retail jobs will be wiped out within 10 years. But the cold truth is that yes, consumers are concerned about automation displacing jobs, but they also want you to harness that technology to make their lives easier, cheaper and more convenient, to deliver on their desire for an easy life. While we're talking about basic human needs and wants, convenience itself is becoming increasingly valuable. At TrendWatching, we talk a lot about basic needs and wants, like convenience and status, but what we're really interested in is when the relative importance and perceived value of those basic needs and wants changes. And that's exactly what's happening now. Think back 50, 100 years ago, if you had a lot of leisure time, it was a surefire sign that you were rich. But now, many of the richest people in the world define themselves by their multiple entrepreneurial endeavors. Put simply, the richer you are, the less time you have, and therefore the more you'll value and pay for convenience. As we can see in this insane stat showing that 70% of Americans with incomes over 150,000 have Amazon Prime memberships. Put all these factors together and it's clear we're on the cusp of the next chapter in digital retail. We've had e-commerce, we've had m-commerce, and now get ready for aCommerce. So let's see aCommerce in action. We've already mentioned staffless stores in another dedicated trend. We know they're coming from Amazon to Alibaba and many more. You can expect to see more and more automation within the physical store. But increasingly, all aspects of a retail customer experience will be automated. Remember coupons and deal codes? Because your kids won't. Dosh is an automated cashback app that removes the need for consumers to hunt for deals, clip coupons or chase points. Customers simply link their card in the app and then automatically receive cashback when spending at participating merchants. The app has over 100,000 retailers signed up, and in April of this year, they secured $44 million in funding from investors, including PayPal, to expand. But it's not just traditional retail that's going to be automated. UK-based fintech startup Revolut introduced a travel insurance service in January 2018 that automatically insures people when it detects they're in a different country. Customers have to opt into the program, but once they do, insurance is just £1 a day for medical and dental coverage, with an annual cap of £30, about $40. This is one of those innovations that's amazing, but customers will quickly ask why it's ever been any other way once they've experienced that level of convenience, that level of automation. Staying with travel, here's another customer pain point that's about to be automated away. Refund It is a service from a co-founder of traffic app Waze that automates the VAT refund approval process. In June of this year, it announced a collaboration pilot with the Slovakian government to enable tourists to automatically receive VAT refunds of between 17 to 27%, depending on the item purchased. And the service is now conducting a further pilot in Belgium. So we've seen a few aCommerce examples in a number of different contexts, but what does this trend mean for you? First, let's be clear. This isn't going to be applied to every product, service, or customer even. But if you're in a sector or a category where customers prize convenience, then aCommerce is coming. Ask yourself, which steps in our customer journey could be automated? And more accurately, which steps would customers welcome us automating? Think back to Revolut's automated location-triggered insurance. No one wants to remember to get insurance, so let that inspire you. Yes, Revolut used location, but what other customer contexts and data could you use to automate a currently necessary but unloved process? And finally, to end, let me just ask you perhaps the biggest question of all, especially if you rely on a strong brand. With rising numbers outsourcing their retail activities to AIs and smart assistants, letting those virtual entities run off to find the best products, prices and experience, you better start thinking about what it means to market and ultimately to sell to algorithms and not just humans. A brave new world awaits, but good luck. Thank you very much.